What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. Welcome back to another video. Now, I'm excited today because even though we're not seeing any type of major movements, let's say in XRP or in any positions that we really hold, it's always great when it's a profitable day. And you're probably like, how? Right? XRP is decreasing, a lot of other things are decreasing. It just doesn't look like the most positive day overall. And while you may be right, that it's not the most positive day, I still found a way to profit today. And this is something that I've grown to do in the stock market, but now I've been able to kind of 10x or let's say 500x that by being able to trade in the crypto market. But the strategy is not 100% sound. The strategy will not work 100% of the time. I want to supplement this video or preface this video by saying that my results are my results because I've been able to have experience and I know what I'm doing when it comes to reading charts, especially for my own strategy, right? Other people may have a different strategy, something more complex, even something more simple. But my strategy works for me. It's because it's me. And I don't want you guys to just copy what I'm doing because you think that it's just going to work out for you. You don't have the same mindset I do, and I want you guys to develop your own strategy. So before we do dive into the details of this video, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out the links down below for Patreon, for Twitter. That does help out the channel, helps out growth, all of that stuff. I really appreciate it. Also, if you guys want to get started trading today, leverage trading today, you can follow along and sign up for BTCC. It is in the description, at the top of the description. You can get a 10% deposit bonus, extra bonuses up to $10,055, 40% lower trading fees, and you can trade all the way up to a 500x leverage if you want to. I do not recommend it, especially if you don't have any history in leverage trading or history in reading charts or history in trading in general. You have to have experience and know what you are doing before you decide to do that. So let's go ahead and dive into at least the start of this video, kind of a look at where the market is. Currently, the market is sitting at a $3.86 trillion market cap, slightly up on the day. You can see Bitcoin is slightly up, Ethereum is slightly down, XRP is down by 1.4%. Tether is down by 0.05% at the 99 cent level. You have BNB that's up by 1%, 1% for Solana, of a decrease, 1.5 for Dogecoin, 1.7 for Cardano, 2% for Hype, and so on and so forth, right? Not the most positive day for everything, but also not the most negative day that we've seen. So when days like these come about, you don't technically think anything of it. You're like, all right, this is just another wash day, and we'll see some movement maybe later on in the day, or moving on to next week, we'll start to see some major pushes and some major news, right? But I look at it as an opportunity, especially if I see an opening. As I went into the XRP chart, I saw an opening where I was like, this it could work, right? I utilized BTCC and their trading view platform where I had three indicators: my EMA, 200 EMA, 50 SMA, and my 15 SMA. All of these usually are great levels for me, and they tell me a lot when I'm trading. So I decided to do two trades today. One that wasn't profitable, another one that was profitable. So if you look at my chart here, this is what BTCC looks like. And if you scroll down here, you're going to see my trade history. I put through two trades that were open and closed today. One was a long. I started out with a long at the level of $3.17. And the reason why I started at that level instead of like starting down here, one, I only seen it when it got to here, right? I didn't, wake up and start streaming or start, looking at charts and all that stuff until, let's say, about, I don't know, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that. So it was up in this level of $3.17. Now, as I saw this, I was like, if it decides, it looks like it's testing it, if it decides to break out of that indicator there, then we would end up seeing it, skyrocket and pick up and potentially get up to the $3.30 level. So that was going to be my selling point if it did go positive. However, I knew that there was always a chance that it could resist from there. So what I typically like to do when things resist in that manner or have a potential chance to resist is I supplement the buys with a short. right? It's something that does work from time to time, but you have to do it in the right level. A lot of people will do it right next to each other. So at 317, they'll look for the increase or they'll look for the decrease. What I typically do is while it's leverage trading, right? I have a certain liquidation point, right? My stop loss level, which I would basically lose everything that I put in there. Now, what I put in there was $20, right? I started with $20 and I said, if I get to that point where I lose $20, I will get out of it and live to fight another day. But at the same time, while I'm seeing that liquidated, I would see the opposite of this. Since it's so close together because it's a 500x leverage, then it would just show that it's on a downtrend at that moment. And that means that I can bet on it decreasing or shorting the position. And that's where I ended up making money. I ended up making money right here where I bought, and then you're going to see, or sorry, when where I shorted it, and then ended up coming all the way down to about $3.10, which I did take that profit automatically, right? I wasn't even around. I just set it as $3.10. The reason why I put it at that level was it was right below this part, or right above, sorry, right below this part. We had a couple of touching points there, and I felt like it was going to break through and could potentially go to $3 flat, but I wanted to make sure I filled the profit. So it's at $207 worth of profit, while I lost $224.95. Only betting, basically betting $20 each time, believing in XRP moving a certain way at a 500x leverage. It's very, very risky, but every time that I put in something, I always had a stop loss. You can see this stop loss order was filled, profit, or my target price order was filled. So I always set a stop loss. I always set a profit target in these short-term trades, especially with a 500x leverage. And you're going to see here that with this, I gained 1,045% on this play, from that $19 that I invested to the $207 that I gained. So the one thing that you can learn from this, right? You don't have to have a lot of money in order to make money in the markets. What you do have to have is a bunch of discipline. What you do have to have is education, right? You don't have to have $500,000 because you can leverage trade. However, if you are going to leverage trades, especially at these larger amounts, you have to know what you're doing. If you do not know what you're doing, you will fail. 100% of the time, you will fail. There will probably be a situation where maybe potentially you decide to throw money in there as like more of a gambling mindset rather than, any type of education, and you may make money there. But now you will have false confidence, not knowing what to do and what to look for. You have to educate yourself. You have to find ways to read charts. Set up indicators that work for you, practice, and then you can become profitable in the crypto market, in the stock market, in many markets, short-term trading. The crypto market just makes it a little bit easier with these higher leverages. But again, you have to set a stop loss and just live to fight another day, right? I lost $25, but I didn't say, oh, let me double down and double down again and double down again. You know what I would have lost? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars. My entire account would have been wiped out because it didn't only increase or decrease to $3.16, it decreased to $3.08. Meaning that if I would have kept doubling down at a 500x leverage, just continued to kept doubling down, I would have lost so much money. So make sure you guys are protecting yourself. Make sure you guys know what you're doing. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Patreon. We can talk about leverage trading and strategies going into it. But guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.